Welcome to Facebook Live. We're at Aqueduct. I'm Andy Serling, joined by the New York Racing Association President and CEO Chris Kay. We want to thank everybody, of course, for joining us. A lot of great stuff going on here. Some tough times as well, though, with the weather here recently, especially at Belmont Park, but also at Aqueduct.
You're right, Andy, and thank you for having me on the show. It has been a very challenging 2018, but I have to tell you, we have some great people here who have worked together and collaborated extremely well. They're working 20-hour days, and they're doing it for the last week, and we'll probably be doing it for a few more days. But great commitment from our people.
I agree, and I think it's been, you could look here, and obviously you look out west, and you see what happened at San Luis Rey, and something that NYRA supported. I know that we sent some money out to them, and I think it's nice in horse racing. We do a lot of infighting, but when there are tough times, like we had at Belmont last week, we saw, of course, out west, people do manage to come together and do the right thing.
They do. I think they come together because we do care. When you look at the people in this industry, they are driven by one constant, a compassion and love affair with horses. And when horses are in jeopardy, like what happened in December, we rushed to be able to provide whatever assistance we could, and the industry responded fantastically. I think we raised over $750,000.
It seemed like minutes.
Yeah, it was like
Incredible.
4 days. It was, and that was fantastic. And the same thing is true here at Belmont. The reason people are working 20-hour days is because they care. So we had the unfortunate situation of having extremely brutal weather at a time when our transformer went out. When the transformer went out, that provides the electrical power for 64 different buildings, including a number of buildings where the backstretch workers were residing. And so we had to bring all those folks into our Belmont Cafe so they could have a warm place to stay. We got out new mattresses to provide them with as much comfort as possible. But it was a tremendous challenge because when that happens, you've got to try to drain the pipes. And you can't drain all the pipes at the same time. And their task was even more complicated by the fact that some of the shutoff valves had been paved over by prior administrations. And so you couldn't shut those off. Then the water that was left in those pipes freezes, they burst. Right. And it's a real problem.
Sounds like a really difficult time, and obviously people at NYRA, as well as the chaplaincy and the backstretch, and the people at NYTHA really did a good job of making sure people could be as comfortable as possible in a very difficult situation.
They did, and it's great because Joe Applebaum is the new president of NYTHA. He was boots on the ground, working with us, collaborating to do the most we could as quickly as possible. And what can you say about the backstretch chaplaincy? They are a fantastic group. I said 20-hour days. I bet Nick was probably working 23-hour days. But it's been a great effort by so many people. And the great thing about this group is that it isn't like we've had just one storm. We continue to have bad weather and fog and snow and heavy winds. So Glenn Kozak and his team have been responding to each and every one of these challenges. And I know we're all looking forward to a turn in the weather because we'd like to start racing again.
I agree. We're starting racing today at Aqueduct. We're actually running the Jerome, which is the first of 4 preps that we'll be running at Aqueduct for the Triple Crown races. And of course, the Triple Crown culminates at Belmont Park. And we're pretty excited to getting back to Belmont. We're 147 days away from the 150th Belmont Stakes. And of course, tickets are going on sale very shortly as well.
Right. So tickets will go on sale to the public on January 25th. This is our 150th Belmont Stakes, so we actually began a kickoff of promoting events on the 150th day beforehand, and we're going to make this into a great event. I'm very pleased and proud with what our teams have been able to do in the past. We've gone from the Belmont Stakes being, on the lead race on a very mediocre card to making the Belmont Stakes Day, in some years, the most exciting and most compelling day of racing in America. And then we've gone from a 1-day to a 3-day meet. And just as we've now made Saturday into an awesome card, we've done the same thing on Friday. And in fact, our wagering last year was up 30% for Thursday and Friday races from the year before. So there's a lot of momentum behind it. And this will be a very special year, being our 150th.
No, I agree. The festival is really a fun idea. And I thought last year, I've enjoyed all of them. And I'm a horse player. I love good racing, and I love our racing here. I've always loved Belmont Park especially. I thought last year we really came together with the Belmont Festival, though.
We did, because you had great racing, and then we had a wonderful performance again by the military band from the United States Military Academy at West Point. We had the Black Knights paratroopers come down, land on the goal line, rather, so to speak, if you use a football parlance, which they like to use, but it's our finish line. And we had Andy Grammer. You know, we've been having better and better performers, and last year, Andy Grammer released a hit single at Belmont Park.
You know, Greg Wolf, who hosts our Belmont and Saratoga live shows, is a big Andy Grammer fan. So you really better get somebody that Greg. You may want to consult with Greg and make sure you get the right host. You know, it's funny talking about Belmont, and those tickets do go on sale on the 25th of January.
Yes.
If you are already a Naira Bets member, you can get your tickets the 23rd, but I believe if you sign up now for Naira Bets, you can get them the 24th. So there are benefits to being a Naira Bets member as far as Belmont Stakes tickets.
They are. And in fact, you know, there are so many benefits to being a Naira Bets customer. Number one, if you live in New York, you'll never get a better redemption program than through our points. And number two, all Naira Bets customers are able to participate in the late pick 5, which has been a fantastic bet for everybody across the country.
I agree. A lot of good things. I've been a member of Naira Bets, and whatever it's been since the early 1990s is as good and about better than it's ever been. Belmont Park, obviously a lot of stuff going on there with the Islanders moving there. One thing I wanted to touch on with you that I think there's some confusion about with some of the drawings. I've heard a lot of people saying that the backyard is going to go at Belmont Park, and I know that's something that you might want to talk about for a second.
I'm glad you raised that, because that is, the backyard is one of the most special places at Belmont Park. It's where people can come and bring their families. And one of the things that we're trying to do is create new generations of fans. And so having a backyard at Belmont is paramount to that task and goal of creating new generations of fans. We want families to come with their kids, picnic in the backyard, and then we hope those kids will fall in love with the sport. It's also why we have an enhanced playground at Saratoga, and why we have over 900 picnic tables at Saratoga. So no, there will be a backyard at Belmont. But what's exciting is that consistent with that goal of creating new generations of fans, we want Belmont Park to be a destination. And with the new arena, and with the retail, and with the entertainment district, and with the hotel that's all being proposed, Belmont is going to be a destination. And there will be millennials that don't know much about horse racing that will come to Belmont, and then they'll realize we have horse racing. They'll come and check it out, and then they'll be involved with and capture the same passion many of us have and become lifetime friends.
I agree. You have to introduce people to horse racing, and nothing is for everyone. But there are people out there, all of us, that there are things we might enjoy. We just need to be exposed to them, and this will give us that opportunity. And Saratoga, of course, the opportunity, our best opportunity for that to happen. And you know, we've got Belmont coming, but Saratoga is always on everybody's minds. And we announced our stake schedule for Belmont yesterday or the day before, I think. People can look that, of course, up on Naira.com. What changes do we have in store for Saratoga this year? I know every year there's new and improved things going on.
Right, so this year at Saratoga, we're going to make a significant improvement to the grandstand section of our building. If you go to the very end of the grandstand, we had 5 sections of seats, which have been there for many, many decades. We're removing all those seats and creating what we call social boxes. This is what you now see in a lot of NBA, NHL, and NFL facilities, a place where young people in particular can congregate. And so we're going to have boxes for 4, 8, 12 people. We're going to have 15-inch iPads there for every 2 people to have your own iPad. It's going to be a segregated area, meaning you're going to have your own bar. So this is the area where a lot of amenities only available to people in those boxes, and there won't be a coat and tie requirement. So it'll be a very casual place.
Well, I mean, it's a great idea because not only obviously is it catering to a portion of our fan base in ways we haven't been able to cater to them in the past, but we're also using available space that's underused. And that's rare in Saratoga because that facility, we use almost all the space much of the time.
You're exactly right. This was the area that was least used. In fact, on many days, they'd be open. Now we're going to be able to bring people to this area and have a tremendous party atmosphere, a real buzz to that area with the high-tech enhancements, including video walls and a great bar. It's going to be a place where people will come and enjoy the races, but also enjoy the ambiance.
All right. Well, Chris, we appreciate your thoughts. You've been here for us for a while now. What are you looking forward to the most this year?
Racing. It would be nice to have a day of racing.
We're a few hours away.
You know, yesterday we were in a meeting talking about these various things, and I said, well, you know, this will be the first day we've been able to get past the 3rd race, and then the fog rolled in, and we were...
But so it's your fault.
Yes. All of this is my fault. I didn't give the right Christmas gift to my wife, and ever since then, the weather has been bad. No, I think in terms of what we look forward to the most, it's exciting in a number of areas, but what we're going to be able to do to make Saratoga even more of a destination. We also have plans for another building at the end of the clubhouse that's underway. And what we can do to create the finest sports and entertainment district in the country at Belmont in partnership with the state and with the Islanders are really things I'm looking forward to.
All right, well, we're all looking forward to that. And Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Been Facebook Live here at Aqueduct with the New York Racing Association President and CEO, Chris Kay, from Andy Serling, and everybody at NYRA. Have a great day.